The Galactic Combat Academy had been training warriors for 3,000 cycles. 3,000 cycles. And not once, not in a single rotation of any of the 14 moons orbiting our training station, had anyone questioned our blade technique, until the human arrived at my name is Vortaal, senior combat instructor, decorated veteran of the Kryn border wars, holder of 17 commendations for excellence in close-quarters instruction. I had trained students from 46 different species. I knew my craft. I knew it like I knew the 3 beating hearts in my chest. So when this Earth creature named Marcus Webb shuffled into my advanced blade combat class, I expected the usual routine. Wide eyes, nervous chittering, maybe some respectful bowing. That is what students do when they enter the presence of a master. Marcus did none of these things. That he walked in chewing something. Chewing. His jaw worked in slow circles while his eyes scanned the room like he was shopping for furniture. He wore the standard academy jumpsuit, but somehow on him it looked wrong. Too neat, like he had actually ironed it. Who irons a combat uniform? You are late, I said, my voice echoing off the training hall walls. Yeah, got lost, Marcus replied, still chewing. Your signage is terrible. Who puts level 7 above level 3? That is just asking for confusion. Several students hissed in shock. You do not speak to Instructor Vortaal with such casual disrespect that I decided to let it pass. Humans were new to the academy, approved for membership only 8 lunar cycles ago. Perhaps they had not yet learned proper military protocol. I would teach him. Oh yes, I would teach him very thoroughly. Take your position, I commanded, gesturing to an empty training mat. Marcus strolled over, hands in his pockets. Hands in his pockets. Today, I announced to the class, my tail swishing with pedagogical authority. We perfect the fundamental grip. Everything, and I mean everything, in blade combat stems from how you hold your weapon. Grip it wrong, and you are dead. Grip it correctly, and you become death itself. I pulled out my ceremonial training blade, a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, 40 centimeters of folded durasteel with a grip wrapped in traditional creche hide. I held it up, rotating it slowly so every student could observe. The blade, I continued, must be gripped with the edge facing your opponent, handle positioned in your dominant hand, thumb along the spine for control, fingers wrapped around the base, pinky providing stabilization. This technique has been refined over millennia. It is perfect. It is unquestionable. It is backwards, Marcus said. The word dropped into the silence like a stone into still water. Every head turned. Every set of eyes, all 43 students representing 12 different species, stared at the human. My translator implant must have malfunctioned. Surely this creature had not just said what I thought he said. Excuse me. I kept my voice level, though my secondary stomach was already churning with irritation. Marcus pointed at my blade. You are holding it backwards. Well, not backwards exactly, but suboptimally. That grip is fine for, I do not know, ceremonial displays. But in actual combat, you would get yourself killed in about 3 seconds. The room temperature seemed to drop. Klixa, a Vrini student in the front row, made a choking sound, probably trying not to laugh at the stupid human who had just signed his own death warrant. You do not insult Vortaal's technique. You just do not. I felt my scales ripple with indignation. Human Marcus Webb, I have been teaching blade combat since before your species discovered fusion power. I have personally trained 3 Imperial Guard commanders. I have written 2 textbooks on edged weapon dynamics. And you, a first cycle student who got lost finding this classroom, presume to correct me. Yeah, Marcus said, nodding like I had just confirmed his lunch order. I do. He walked up to the equipment rack and selected a practice blade, one of the blunted training versions we used for sparring. Then, right there in front of everyone, he flipped it around in his hand, flipped it around. The blade now pointed down from the bottom of his fist, edge facing outward, in what we called the fool's grip, because only a fool would hold a weapon that way. This, Marcus said, is how humans hold knives when things get serious. It is called reverse grip, or ice pick grip back home. And before you laugh, maybe you should ask yourself why every single human military in existence teaches this as our primary close-quarters technique. My translator must have been glitching. It had to be. That grip, I said slowly, reduces your reach by 30%. It eliminates thrusting attacks. It compromises your defensive capability. It is, objectively, inferior. Cool, Marcus said. Want me to prove you wrong? Now that got my attention. The entire training hall went dead silent. You could have heard a scale drop that I stared at this human, this impossibly arrogant creature who had been in my academy for less than one standard day, and I felt something I had not experienced in decades. Genuine curiosity mixed with absolute fury. You wish to spar with me? I asked, letting my translator add the appropriate layers of menace to my voice. You, a student, wish to challenge me, your instructor? Marcus shrugged. Actually shrugged. I mean, you said your grip is perfect and mine is stupid. Only one way to settle that argument, right? Clixo whispered something to the student next to her, probably taking bets on how quickly the human would end up on his back. I gave him 4 seconds. Maybe 5 if he got lucky. Very well. I gestured to the sparring circle, that sacred space where so many students had learned humility. Standard contact rules. First clean strike wins. No killing blows, obviously. Obviously, Marcus echoed, walking to his side of the circle that I took my position opposite him, blade held in the proper, the correct, the only sensible grip known to civilized combat throughout the galaxy. Edge out, thumb on spine, ready to thrust, slash, parry. Textbook perfection. Marcus stood there with his blade pointed down like some kind of primitive savage. Begin. Vree, my assistant instructor, shouted that I moved first, naturally. Experience dictates the flow of combat. I stepped in with a standard probing thrust, testing the human's reflexes, expecting him to panic and stumble backward. Instead, Marcus moved, and I do not mean he dodged. I mean he moved in a way that made my 3 hearts skip approximately 6 beats. He stepped forward and to the side. Inside my reach, his body suddenly impossibly close to mine. That reverse blade came up fast, so fast my eyes barely tracked it, and I felt the practice edge tap against my throat with a precision that sent chills down my spine. 4 seconds. It took him 4 seconds, but I am Vortaal. I do not lose to students. I twisted away, putting distance between us, reassessing. Lucky strike. Had to be. I attacked again, this time with a proper combination. Slash high, feint low, thrust to center mass. 3 moves that had scored hits on Imperial champions. Marcus deflected the first strike by catching my blade against his in that weird downward grip, using the angle to guide my weapon away from his body instead of blocking it directly. The physics should not have worked, but somehow it did. He slipped past my feint like he had known it was coming, and when I thrust, he was not where I expected him to be. He was inside my guard again. The practice blade tapped my ribs, then my shoulder, then my throat again. 3 strikes in less than 2 seconds, each one controlled, each one deadly. If the blade had been real, that I heard gasps from the students. See, the thing about reverse grip, Marcus said, breathing normally while I panted with exertion, is that it trades reach for close quarters dominance. You are right. I cannot thrust worth a damn like this. But if I get inside your range, and trust me, I will get inside your range, your longer grip becomes a liability. You need space to use that blade effectively. I do not. He stepped back, giving me room. My pride screamed at me to continue, to wipe that calm expression off his alien face. But my brain, the part trained through actual combat and not just ego, recognized what I was seeing. This human was not lucky that he was skilled, terrifyingly skilled. Your stance, I said, forcing my voice to remain steady. Where did you learn it? Earth has been stabbing each other for about 10,000 years, Marcus replied, flipping his blade back to standard grip with a casual twist of his wrist. We got pretty good at it. Different environments, different needs, different solutions. Your grip works great in open combat, formation fighting, dueling. I am not saying it is wrong. I am saying it is not the only answer. He walked back to the equipment rack and replaced the practice blade. Humans fight dirty, he continued, addressing the class now, apparently comfortable giving lectures in someone else's training hall. We fight in hallways, in trenches, in spacecraft corridors, in spaces where you cannot swing a blade properly. So we adapted. Reverse grip lets us strike from angles you would not expect, defend while grappling, transition to empty hand techniques seamlessly. It is not better. It is different. Context matters. I should have been angry. I should have thrown him out of my class for insubordination. Instead, I started laughing. Deep, bellowing laughs that echoed off the walls and probably scared half the students. Because after 3,000 cycles of teaching the same techniques, of absolute certainty in our methods, this human had walked in and casually demonstrated that we had been thinking too small. Human Marcus Webb, I said, composing myself, you are either the bravest student I have ever met or the most foolish. I have not decided which. Can I be both? Marcus asked. You will assist me, I declared, making a decision that would probably horrify the Academy administration. Every session, you will demonstrate your Earth techniques. We will compare, analyze, determine contexts where each method excels. Perhaps, and I say this with great reluctance, we might learn something. Marcus grinned. Humans have far too many teeth. Does this mean I passed the class? It means you have made my job significantly more complicated, I replied. Now grab a blade. We are going to show these students what happens when two different fighting philosophies actually try to kill each other properly. The class erupted in excited chatter, and I thought, not for the last time, that humans were going to make the galaxy a very interesting place. Backwards grip. Who would have thought? So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.